Hello everybody, and thanks for checking out my review. Today I'll be reviewing the Citizen Calibre 2100 Flyback Chronograph. I'll explain the features in a moment. Comes of course in the green cardboard box that Citizen puts out with most of their watches, with of course the cylinder. And in the box they give you the setting instructions in two ways, both on a CD and an interactive, and of course the manual. Manual comes available in many languages, and of course it comes with the Getting Started guide that kind of gives you information on the solar technology that Citizen uses for the Eco Drive, and of course a limited 5-year warranty. Now, getting to the watch itself, comes available in 3 different variations. Comes of course in the white dial with the deep black subdials. It comes with a black dial with deep black subdials, and it comes together with the titanium, and there's a gray dial. So getting into the watch itself, Citizen put a lot of detail going into this watch. I'm going to try to get up in a macro so you can kind of see the best you possibly can. They kind of ridged the dial a little bit to add for just a nice uniqueness to it. On the top it gives you your Eco Drive calibration, so you know if it's empty, if you need to keep it in the sun, if it needs a charge, or if it's fully charged. It gives you the chronograph dial on the left, seconds dial on the bottom, another chronograph on the right. Your date over here at the 4:30 location, and it gives you another hand in the red there, and that's your alarm, which could be turned off and set with the crown over here. So you pull the crown out and turning it, you get set what time the alarm's going to go off. Push it back in, and pushing it in a second time, if you take a notice at the little dial over here, turns the alarm on and off. It's a 12-hour alarm, so if you set it up, for instance, I always set my alarms at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to go off at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you keep it armed, it's going to go at 7 o'clock at night as well. One of the concerns that I had before I purchased this watch was the white lumen over the white dial and how legible the time would be. I haven't run into a problem with that at all, particularly with the fact that they're polished hands, so it makes it a little bit easier to see. You'll also notice on the right side of the watch you have the ProMaster logo. Again, I'm trying to get the macro to catch up with it. That's a screw down crown, and of course you have your crown for starting the chronograph and stopping it and resetting it. And this is a hybrid movement. It's a really interesting movement in the aspect of your normal time is being kept by quartz movement, so you'll notice the simple ticking second hand, but when you press for the chronograph, it's a little harder to push than a normal chronograph on a quartz, and you'll notice that the chronograph hand kind of sweeps, and that's where it comes into almost as if you would call it a hybrid movement, where you have like an automatic chronograph with the quartz timekeeping. So you get the accuracy of a quartz. The only difference is you're going to get the chronograph movement running from the battery, which there are 2 rechargeable batteries under the case. Stop it, and you can reset it, and it flies right back to the 12 o'clock mark, dead on. The left hand keeps the minutes, the right hand keeps the hours. It's a 20-hour stopwatch on it, and it's also got a tachometer on the outside, so you can actually go from miles per hour, or how fast you're going. So it's a very unique watch. This comes available in I'm going to say 2 different variations as well, as far as the way it was released. This is the American release, so you'll notice the back has a polished screw down case there. If I had gotten this from Europe or Japan, that would have been stamped a little deeper. This also has mineral glass, whereas the Japan and European versions have sapphire crystal. It's got a really good anti-reflective coating on it, so when you're looking at it in a normal day, you don't really see any glare on the glass. You have to kind of look to create glare by putting it directly into light. Bracelet is really comfortable. It's got a good amount of flexibility to it, as you'll notice. Kind of move it with your wrist. The links are a mixture of satin finished and polished, so it's almost like they used 5 different types of links within the bracelet itself, and what they did was alternating the polished areas throughout the bracelet itself. It's got a very solid finish to it. It's a very heavy watch, unless you get the titanium. The titanium is a lot less weightier. Not a big fan of the titaniums personally. I like the look, but I like when I have a big watch for it to feel like a heavy big watch. This is another one. It's a large. It's a large watch, but it doesn't feel large on the wrist. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, and I never get odd looks, if you will, for having too big of a watch. It just seems like it's a perfect size. Again, it's when you get a comfort of a really flexible, really good bracelet of quality. A watch doesn't tend to wear large because it kind of curves in, as you'll notice. The only downfall to this watch is you don't really have a lot of flexibility regarding your bracelet. I mean, you can't switch this off to leather or steel or different versions of the steel. This bracelet is made for this watch, and so if you like this watch overall, you're going to want to keep the entire thing. So I just do want to make that clear. Well, like I said, it's a real good solid watch, very attractive. The black, I love how deep the black subdials are. There's a high technology going into this watch, and you know, that's one of the little things that I love about my hobby and looking at the various watches that I own. The different reviews that I do is just seeing the different types of technologies available in such small packages. So it's always brought great interest to me. So I want to thank you very much for watching my review. I hope I was as in-depth as I could be. I'm sure hoping that I could help somebody if you were on the fence thinking about getting it. I hope I helped you. Want to just, of course, refer everyone to a really good website, www.watchuseek.com. So it's watchuseek.com. It's a great bunch of members over there. Lots of different discussion on going on all variety types of all types of various types of watches, manufacturers, brands, types. Really good to check out. So thanks again for watching my review. Have a great day.